In order to do well on rounding up, you will need to review the special places for the numbers.
I would like to learn.
Let's just look at a whole number.
Not a half.
Right, we will start with the number 7. This digit has one place value, and it is the ones place. There are 7 ones.
Easy.
Now take the number 23. It has 3 ones and 2 tens. Each digit has a different place value. The digit 3 is in the place called ones, and the digit 2 is in the place called tens.
So far so good.
Now, say we have the number 123. We would have the digit 1 in the hundreds place, and the digit 2 in the tens place, and the digit 3 in the ones place.
I see. The number is telling us that we have 100. We have 20 tens and 3 ones. It is as simple as that. It is just like counting money. I would like $100 bill right about now.
Word. We can continue on in the same way, with the left place after 100 being 1,000, then 10,000, and then 100,000. That is enough to get us started.
Cool. But what about if the number has a decimal in it?
Good point.
Funny.
If we want to look at places to the right of the decimal point, we have to look at the names of their place values.
I'm in.
A digit after the decimal point is in the tenths place. For example, 1.3 has a 1 in the tens place and a 3 in the tenths place. It represents 1 and 3 tenths. Rewind this sentence and write down the number. 1.3.
Represent.
If you have another digit to the right of the tenths place, it is called the hundredths place. Watch out for the last letters in this word. It has 100 with the letters THS at the end. For example, we might have 2.34. This number has a 2 in the tens place, a 3 in the tenths place, and a 4 in the hundredths place.
The next place to the right is thousandths, then 10,000ths, then 100,000ths.
Exactly. The key here is that there is no ones place to the right of the decimal point. We go right to tenths.
No ones, just tenths. I got it.
To round, we look at the place values. Let's start with whole numbers again. We do not have a decimal here.
I am sorry I brought it up.
No, it is important to look at both sides of the decimal point, and we will get back to it.
Okay.
We want to look at our number in increments, as Sol Khan says in his first video on rounding whole numbers. He does a nice job using the number line, and I suggest that you watch it. Just search for the name.
I will check it out. Rounding whole numbers.
Khan's Academy is now on our whitelist at www.khanacademy.org.
Outstanding.
In rounding, we want to make our number simpler. We only need an estimate of the number. It does not need to be exact. So if we are asked to round to the nearest 100, we just take a look at that place, the hundredths place. We want to end up with just zeros to the right of the hundredths place. Now we look one place less than the place we are asked to round to. For example, the tens place here.
We look to the right of the number.
We want to see how big the digit in the tens place is. If it is 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, we can round up. That is, if it is 5 or greater, you round up or increment it. We make the digit in the hundredths place one higher. If it is 3, we make it a 4. We round up. But if the number in the tens place is 4 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 0, or it is not 5 or greater, we just leave that hundredths place number the same.
So, rounding down is just leaving the number in the hundredths place where it was.
Right. And then we replace the numbers to the right with zeros. We put zeros in the 10 and 1 places.
Would you do another example, please?
Sure. Say we have the number 5,263. We want to round to the nearest 100. We look closely at the hundredths place. It is 200. Then we look to the right one digit and see that in the tens place we have a 6. We know that we need to round up because 6 is greater or equal to 5.
It is 6.
So we go back to the hundredths place and round the 200 up to 300. Our final answer is 5,300. A 5, a 3, a 0 and another 0.
And what about rounding with decimals?
I actually find that easier. The hardest part is remembering which place is which. Remember, there is no ones place to the right of the decimal.
I will remember.
Good. So if I said to you, round 0.36 to the nearest tenths, what would you do?
I look directly at the tenths place. It is 3. Then I look to the right, to the hundredths place and see that we have a 6. That means I have to round up.
Why?
Because it is 5 or greater.
Excellent. So what is your final answer?
The final answer is 0.4.
In the N-STAR program, we might be told to round to the tenths place, when the answer you have is a whole number like 7.
Would I put 7.0 to show the tenths place?
Yes, I would do that.
Rock on.